Welcome everybody to Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling Rising Spirit, a new YouTube show in the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling universe. I'm your host Crimson Ash, and this is the lead up to CUPW Dimensional Merge. Hopefully this will allow you to familiarize yourself with the Fire Pro Wrestling component of Dimensional Merge coming up. And to get started with that, we'll be having a 6-man tag team match. FTR with CM Punk will be taking on the Acclaim with Master Wato. And coming to the ring, it is the team of Cash Wheeler, Dax Hardwood. They are FTR, and they are with CM Punk. Representing Based World, the Acclaimed, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Master Wato. 15-minute time limit, one fall to a finish. Let's get it started. That is Max Caster starting in the ring with, I'm gonna say Cash Wheeler. If I'm wrong, abuse me in the YouTube comments. Except all new competitors for Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling, except for Master Wato. We've seen Master Wato compete for the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling title upon their request of you, the viewers, in WWE 2K. Dax Harwood in the ring now, and in comes Master Wato. It'll be interesting to see what Master Wato brings to the table here in Fire Pro. Dax Harwood sending him into the ropes, and ducking that kick there. Dax Harwood seems to have Master Wato's number, and here's CM Punk. Master Wato able to fight both Dax and Punk off, but the numbers game catching up. And now in there with quite the veteran with CM Punk. CM Punk's been doing this a long time, a lot longer than Master Wato. He knows the ins and outs of this ring. Great snapmare there, though, from Master Wato. I can tell you now that at Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling Dimensional Merge, we will be seeing the Acclaimed take on FTR in a qualifier to determine who will be able to challenge for the CUPW Tag Team Champions in Fire Pro Wrestling. This is a bit of a preview of that match. Backslide there from Master Wato on CM Punk. Only a 1 count. You're not going to get that past a veteran like CM Punk. Great vertical suplex there. And throwing the elbow. In comes Anthony Bowens. First time he's been tagged in here. Master Wato not going straight to the corner, but there we go. Anthony Bowens, Dax Harwood in the ring. Dax bringing cash. A lot of great tag team offense in and out between these two accomplished tag teams. The Acclaimed and FTR, both former AEW tag team champions. It'll be interesting to see who might go on to take the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championship as we move into Fire Pro Wrestling. Great Boston Crab there from Cash, but not enough to put... Oh, wow, what a lariat there. He's got the arm hooked. Anthony Bowens definitely has some fight in him. Elbow to the back of their head there. And... oh, okay, we're all going into that blue turnbuckle there. Cash getting the better of that exchange. What is Cash doing up there? Great elbow drop from the top. Maybe he learnt that one from CM Punk. FTR and CM Punk, I believe, are representing the stable, the table. The table stable. We'll be seeing much more of the stables and factions that have been formed here in Fire Pro Wrestling World, as this night progresses at Dimensional Merge and going forward. We will also be seeing some familiar faces, only a 1 count there. Now this is a 15-minute time limit. There is a real potential of this going into a time limit draw. And great cross-legged maneuver there from Cash Wheeler. In comes Master Wato. But Cash able to fight off both Max Caster and Master Wato there. Master Wato, I believe, will be in contention in some capacity for the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling title at Dimensional Merge. More details will come available after this show regarding what's happening on the Dimensional Merge. As well, on this show, we will be having a variety of qualifying matches for some of the new titles that we will be seeing in Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling in Fire Pro Wrestling. And a back and forth exchange between Master Wato and CM Punk. Master Wato getting the better of the exchange. Up he goes. Double stomp to the midsection. He had the knee bar, but I think he was in the ropes. He was in FTR's corner. CM FTR's corner. Not great placement for it. Great combination there. And a buzzsaw kick. Shades of Tajiri. And that is the spinal tap. Again, pinning in probably the worst corner ever. I believe only 2 minutes left. What a neck breaker there from Cash. Everyone is just in mayhem. I don't even know who's legal at this stage. I believe... Oh, great cutter there. It's Max Caster and Dax Harwood. Scooping the slam. Cash Wheeler, what are we doing here? Only 1 minute remains. This may go to a time limit draw. Maybe not the way we would want to start Rising Spirit, but a way, it makes you want to see more. Coming up at Dimensional Merges, we'll see the Acclaimed and FTR clash, but maybe there's not time for that, Max. There's not time for that. Kick to the back of the head, but potentially wasted too much time there taunting. But the Acclaimed standing tall, Max Caster at least, standing tall in the ring at the end of this one. It'll be interesting to see at Dimensional Merge, the Acclaimed versus FTR. And with that, we'll be heading into our next match. It'll be a qualifying match to determine who will go into contendership to become the first ever CUPW Rising Spirit Champion. More information on that coming up. Coming to the ring, it is none other than Noriko Takaya. If you watched Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling, you know all about Noriko. But her opponent, former Stardom superstar, now freelancer, seen in DPW, Jungle Kyona. There is no time limit here. This is a qualifier. In the main event, the winner of this match will face the winner of the following match to determine who will become the first ever CUPW Rising Spirit Champion. A championship that will be defended exclusively here on Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling Rising Spirit, our YouTube show. In order to showcase more talent, we have a very stacked roster here, Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling on Fire Pro. Now, any of you who used to watch Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling, which is still all up on the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, should know about the dominance of Noriko Takaya, who held the Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling title for a very long time, very successful, and is having to kind of start anew here. But you can't take anything away from Jungle Kyona. She's been in this business for quite some time. She knows her way around this squared circle. And for Jungle Kyona, maybe a chance to make up for missed opportunities within Stardom by being able to go on and win the CUPW Rising Spirit Championship here tonight. And a neck crank there from Jungle Kyona to Noriko Takaya. Noriko Takaya not doing too well right now. There's strong forearms there. And sending Noriko Takaya into the ground. Noriko able to get a bit of reprieve there. A slap to the face. Lariat from Jungle Kyona. Jungle Kyona is currently dominating Noriko. And stalling the strength there. Absolutely incredible stuff. And wow, a really tight cover there. Noriko had an opportunity to get some offense in there, but not quite able to get it done. Huge back body drop there. That is exactly what Noriko needs, but losing the momentum and really grinding on that headlock was Jungle Kyona. Oh my god, those forearm strikes from Jungle Kyona. Noriko maybe has never faced a competitor quite like this at Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling, and a cutter there. Oh my god.
Give up.
But Noriko will not give up from that, and there is that wrenching headlock. Noriko, oh, not in the ropes, only a 2 count. Noriko almost stealing it there. Jungle Kyona looked a little spent. Great power slam there. The rotation, the impact from that. And fall away slam, the strength of Jungle Kyona. And against the ropes, sliding D. Again, Noriko is really struggling to get her own offense in. Trying to make some distance there. Dragon Screw leg whip. But Jungle Kyona is looking quite spent. Maybe Noriko is trying to gas Jungle Kyona here. There's that neck crank. And what are we... there is that backbreaker submission again. Noriko still won't give up.
Give up.
The damage being done to her back there. Huge, huge clothesline. And this is the opportunity Noriko needs. Drop kick to the back of the head of Jungle Kyona. Flipping senton. But again, Jungle Kyona takes control. 10 minutes have passed. No time limit though. Noriko getting out of the way there. Not a rope break, surprisingly. Referee's discretion. Another huge lariat. And this is a bad position for Noriko to be in. Fall away slam. Oh, and Noriko able, with the ground game, maybe stronger on the ground than Jungle Kyona in grappling, but... oh my, the rolling lariat. Jungle Kyona seems to have Noriko's number, but Poison Rana from Noriko. And she might be going for it, the Super Inazuma kick. There it is. With the pin. 1, 2. Not enough to put away Jungle Kyona. She's put away some of the best of Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling with that Super Inazuma kick. But not enough to put Jungle Kyona away. She's fired up. And oh my god. What is Jungle Kyona doing? Swinging around like a ragdoll. Jungle Kyona definitely has that strength advantage here. Bit of misdirection there with that lariat. Noriko was a bit dazed. Another Poison Rana from Noriko. She's fired up. But again, Noriko can get a hit in, but Jungle Kyona's always another step ahead. You gotta start thinking though, where are the pins from Jungle Kyona? When is she gonna try to a pin? Get out of the way. Great springboard from Noriko there, but both of these competitors are spent as we reach the 15-minute mark. Oh, that pile driver spiking her on the top of her head. I don't know how Noriko's... this might be it for Noriko. She might have to give up here. But still, she stays in it, able to float over. I don't know why... Sling Blade, she keeps firing herself up, but it worked there. Another Sling Blade. Suddenly, a third sling blade. Noriko is suddenly working it out. Put it into the... Ooh, and a splash. Jungle Kiona, what is she doing here? Just smacking Noriko around the head. Pele kick. Again, 16 minutes in, but it looks like these competitors have been fighting for an hour. The amount of damage that they've done to each other, and one of these competitors, whoever wins this match, still has to face off in another match later tonight. Big splash there. The referee really giving them a lot of lenience on the rope breaks. Back and forth we go. Rolling lariat, but Noriko's on her feet with the enziguri. The fighting spirit of Noriko coming out full force. The claw to the face, and the referee, I don't know if Jungle Kiona was in a bad way, unconscious, or if she gave a verbal cue to the ref that she was giving up. But Noriko Takaya will advance here into the main event this evening for the CUPW Rising Spirit Championship. Now we'll get straight into our next Rising Spirit qualifier. We'll be seeing Amuro Ray taking on Shingo Takagi. Coming to the ring, Amuro Ray, and I've got a lot to say about this guy. But a first timer here, and Amuro Ray's right in his face, but first timer here, Shingo Takagi. I guess everyone's a first. Well, Amuro Ray is also a first timer, but we've seen a lot of Amuro Ray in Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling. Probably the most dominant men's athlete in Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling. If Noriko was the ace of the women in Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling, Amuro was definitely the ace of the men. And I mean, if Amuro can win here, go on to face Noriko, there is definitely history between them that I might have to go over if that match happens. But we can't count out former IWGP World Champion Shingo Takagi. But Amuro Ray with the power advantage on Shingo Takagi. Now the referee wrote that one up. Chop there from Shingo. Amuro showed himself in Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling to be a very brutal competitor. Wars with Kenshiro, sending Kenshiro out of the company for some time. MMA matches with Kenshiro, bloody affairs with basically every man on the roster. The Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling men's division was known for bloody, all-out fights, and Amuro was the king of that. A knee lift there. Shingo Takagi bringing Amuro a bit more to the center. Ooh, tried to go for that flying knee, but didn't get any of it. Single leg Boston Crab there from Shingo. Ooh, and some punches to the side of the head. Takedown, but Shingo Takagi able to kick him off. As mentioned, Shingo, former IWGP World Champion, former Never Openweight Champion as well. Current King of Pro Wrestling Champion. Is it King of Pro Wrestling Champion? I guess I got a belt now for it. Great DDT there from Shingo. And now you don't want to be, I was going to say you don't want to be in a position like that with Amuro Ray, because he does not care. Amuro Ray does not care. He will strike you with any appendage that he can. He will take your head off. He will concuss you. He will bust you open. And the new type speed there from Amuro. Shingo with a last ditch able to stop Amuro from keeping that advantage. Chop across the chest there. Another chop. Knee lift. Amuro in control right now. Oh, and there it is. Like I said, you're on the ground. Amuro will do whatever he needs to keep inflicting damage on you. I think for Shingo, he needs to stay on his feet. He needs to use his strength in a striking game. On the... Oh my god, the counter there. Shingo maybe thinking of Made in Japan or Last of the Dragon up there, but Amuro able to turn it into an armbar. Now to the outside. I believe we have a 20 count here. However, this referee... Oh, and here we go. Last of the Dragon. Or was that... Yeah, that was Last of the Dragon. And Shingo almost advanced to take on Noriko. Great flipping senton there. Again, you saw Amuro go for that back mount. He was absolutely thinking of doing some terrible things. Disrespectful pin in the ropes though. Stacking him up high with that powerbomb. Shingo almost advancing again. Kick to the top of the head. Amuro though looks spent. Shingo dazed. Like I said, Amuro will just throw. He will throw hands. He will throw kicks. He will knock you out. Saito suplex. Dangerous. From Shingo Takagi. There's some gut punches there from Amuro. And around the world, shout out to former RWCW champion Karen Kujo, who used that very effectively. And Amuro Ray able to advance here. And that means in the main event tonight to determine the first ever CUPW Rising Spirit champion, Amuro Ray versus Noriko Takaya. I've got a lot to say about that, but I'll say it when we get there. Our next contest will be a qualifier for our new deathmatch title, the Spirit of Anarchy. Now, the title will be determined at Dimensional Merge, but we'll have 2 qualifying matches to determine who faces off at Dimensional Merge for the Spirit of Anarchy Deathmatch Championship. Our following contest is a deathmatch between New Jack and Suzu Suzuki. Here we go. Now there are some I was expecting a different style of match here. There are some weapons around the ring, but I was expecting a barbed wire ring. I guess we couldn't get the barbed wire in time. But anyway, New Jack and Suzu Suzuki in this ring. Hopefully, by Dimensional Merge, we can get the... Oh, I think someone landed on one of those weapons. Hopefully, by Dimensional Merge, we can get our proper deathmatch setup in order. Scoop and a slam there from Suzu Suzuki. Now, New Jack, we have seen at Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling before. Oh my god, he's got a sledgehammer. Snapmare onto the fort. New Jack, we've seen fight Mass Transit in Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling, but not achieved much else. Suzu Suzuki, from prominence, has also been making waves in Stardom. Recently taking on Julia for the red belt, the World of Stardom Championship. And a suplex there. A headlock there from Suzu Suzuki. Suzu Suzuki, despite her age, despite her experience, is a very experienced deathmatch competitor already. But you can't really beat the experience of New Jack. But Suzu, she has the ability to out-wrestle New Jack. New Jack is a tough dude. He can inflict a lot of damage, but he doesn't quite have the wrestling acumen that Suzu Suzuki has. Back and forth, Suzu able to get the best in that exchange. And a sledgehammer in hand. into the turnbuckle. Suzu able to stop whatever damage was going to be done by the sledgehammer. What is... New Jack just going for a diving attack. You don't see that often from someone like New Jack. But then again, New Jack has dived from many higher places, many more dangerous places. Snap suplex there. And he's procured another fork. He's stabbing Suzu Suzuki in the head with a fork. There's also a light tube in that ring. Only a 1 count. Suzu with another suplex, and she sent... Oh. Oh, I can kind of see them. Cameraman. I need... Oh, we're back into the ring. I'm not really sure what happened there. Technical difficulties. The cameraman not interested in finding the action here. We've got to have a harsh chat with this cameraman. Oh, there, oh, we saw it for a second. And we're back in, nope, we got into the ring for a moment. And we are back in the ring. I was trying to get onto the production truck to work out what was going on there with the production quality. I mean, this is a new program, pal. We're just getting started here. There may be some technical difficulties. At some point, New Jack procured a baseball bat while they were out there. Great German suplex with a bridge. Suzu almost taking it. And there's that fork again right to the head, but anything goes here in a death match. And dangerously close to that light tube. And a double stomp there from Suzu. There's a pin. But New Jack is a lot tougher than that. He's been through a lot of shit. I think that was a diving headbutt there. 2. Not enough to put away Suzu. Back to the outside. The cameraman is interested in watching this action. On a side where we have a camera set up, I guess. Oh my god, that is a barbed wire baseball bat to the face of Suzu Suzuki. Suzu is only 19 or 20 years old. But she has already gone through what the hell? Oh, that's a microphone that he has there. Suzu, very young in this business, but has already gone through a lot of tough matches like this. She can take the punishment. And that's why she's here challenging for the Spirit of Anarchy title. Big moonsault there. Almost enough. Scoop and a slam. Up she goes, and a double stomp across the midsection of New Jack. And she tried to go for another one, New Jack on his feet. Into the ropes. Should have been barbed wire ropes. Oh my god. New Jack got folded up with that. Elbow to the back. New Jack. Oh, Suzu with the roll up. The referee was not ready for that one. I don't think anyone was. New Jack really wants to use that sledgehammer. Oh, no. How do you even survive? Oh my god. No. Suzu might be dead. Diving headbutt. 1, 2. How the hell did Suzu kick out of that? Back and forth. How is Suzu standing? How is she throwing forearms like that? She's feeling it though. Headbutt from New Jack. Both of these competitors are putting it all on the line here. New Jack with the fork. And I do think that Suzu might be bleeding from somewhere. Maybe from the top of her head. Maybe behind her hair. Some forearms there. All she can muster. Bulldog from New Jack. We're approaching 20 minutes here. I believe there's no time limit as this is a qualifying match. We need a winner. Buzzsaw kick there. Shades of Tajiri. ECW legend. New Jack as well, ECW legend. Suzu Suzuki showing that she would have fit in nicely in ECW. Oh no. Where has she gone? But maybe it seems like New Jack was using that as an opportunity to catch his breath for a moment. DDT. Both competitors lying in the middle of the ring on the Rising Spirit logo. This is the Spirit of Anarchy. The metal fingers from Izuka clubbing Suzu in the top of the head. The Suzu buzzsaw kick. Suzu against the ropes. STO takedown. There's the pin. But New Jack able to kick out. I was not expecting these two to go 21 minutes in a death match, but here we are. A fork to the top of the head. I don't know how many more forks to the top of the head you could take. Suplex there from Suzu. Into the blue turnbuckle. Some punches to the top of the head there. I was entranced by what New Jack was trying to do there with the fork. Another suplex from Suzu Suzuki. What do these two need to do to put this match away? I have no idea at this stage. These two competitors have seemingly, in my mind, thrown out everything. And into the blue turnbuckle goes Suzu. Up top and a superplex from New Jack. At this point, you're going to wonder why New Jack isn't going for the pin on Suzu. Suzu's still fired up despite the beating that she's taken for almost 30 minutes. Headbutt there from New Jack. But I say I don't understand why he's not going for the cover, but New Jack is known for just wanting to hurt people, for being quite sadistic. I wouldn't be surprised if both of these competitors have been bleeding out. The blood is from both of them. I think Suzu landed on an object there. Maybe hurt herself more from attempting that move. There's those forearms. New Jack. Again, we are almost approaching the 30-minute mark in this match. And there's still not a winner in sight. What is Suzu doing up there? Double stomp. There's the pin. 1, 2, 3. Suzu Suzuki puts away New Jack and advances to challenge for the Spirit of Anarchy Deathmatch title at Dimensional Merge. Hopefully we'll have a real deathmatch for you by the time we get there. What an incredible match that was. But we still have so much more for you here to come. Coming up next is a qualifier for the Shining Spirit Championship. That is our MMA Rules Shoot Fighting Championship. We'll be seeing Roman Reigns taking on Eddie Kingston. Shining Spirit qualifier in the Octagon. This is at a same same building, but not where our ring is. We've got Roman Reigns versus Eddie Kingston. Now, we've seen a lot of Roman Reigns in Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling. This is the first time we're seeing Eddie Kingston. Roman Reigns, not necessarily known as a fighter, but a very, very large man. I imagine he's got it in him. And Eddie Kingston, on the mean streets of wherever in New York he's from, you know, he's a street fighter. He knows how to fight on the street. Now, there should be multiple rounds here. Oh my god, he just got thrown right into the cage. Knockout and submission only, no pinfalls. I was not exactly briefed on the ruling of how long the rounds are and how many rounds we have. Again, this is still a new production. Back and forth. And Eddie Kingston getting the better of Roman Reigns. Low blow there, and I guess that's legal here. Shining Spirit rules. Daichi is going to allow that one. Suplex, you don't see that often in a shoot match. Eat your heart out, Dana White. This is the real mixed martial arts promotion. Now, I am interested by Roman Reigns wanting to enter the Shining Spirit shoot fighting division. Chinlock there. Again, another unorthodox submission within normal MMA. But again, these are two wrestlers. These aren't two MMA fighters. 5 minutes have passed. I'm starting to think that there aren't rounds. Something has gone wrong here. This might be one continuous round to a finish. A DDT there, an Impaler DDT from Eddie Kingston. And an amazing powerbomb. There are pinfalls, apparently. Okay, cool. A normal wrestling match is just in a dodecagon. Okay, cool. Ramshack mud show, I guess. And a guillotine there. Roman Reigns has put away a lot of people with the guillotine. Eddie Kingston with a submission of his own. Eddie Kingston is standing toe-to-toe with Roman Reigns here. Now, I still cannot believe what's happening with the rules. I cannot believe what happened with the death match as well in the previous contest. And here's a pin, which counts for some reason. I've got to talk to Daichi about this by the time we get to Dimensional Merge. I've got to sort this out with him. I don't think he was briefed either. Big Samoan drop there from a big Samoan man. But Eddie Kingston, he's from New York. He can fight. Exploder suplex there. And there's that guillotine again. That might be enough to put Eddie Kingston away. No. This is kind of like UFC 1, where there was just like long ass rounds and stuff. I think it was just like one long continuous round. The spinning back fist, the Hurricane. Eddie Kingston thinks that's enough to put away Roman Reigns. And there's that guillotine again, right against the cage. But Eddie Kingston able to get out of the guillotine. What a lariat there. And Eddie Kingston was knocked out by it. Roman Reigns knocking Eddie Kingston out with a lariat. Incredible. He is a beautiful boy, and he advances, and he'll be challenging for the first ever to become the first ever Shining Spirit shoot fighting champion. Coming up next will be another Spirit of Anarchy qualifier deathmatch. Depending on your definition of deathmatch, will be Atsushi Onita versus Masato Tanaka. Somehow between that last match, while we were in the MMA area, we actually were able to get our deathmatch set up here. Exploding barbed wire deathmatch, Atsushi Onita, Masato Tanaka. Onita, I mean, he's very well versed in exploding barbed wire death matches. He knows what's good. He's got the hookups for us. Masato Tanaka, though, ECW legend in his own right, knows his way around a hardcore deathmatch environment. But in terms of this style of match, Atsushi Onita is unrivaled in my opinion. And there's the first pop. And Masato Tanaka has been popped open. Still, pinfall submissions apply here. There, I believe, will be an explosion at some point in this match. Since everything has gone wrong on this show, it could be at any point. An EDT there from Masato Tanaka. An interesting Enziguri type maneuver there from Onita. Back and forth we go. And Onita getting the better of that exchange, but just barely. And back into the exploding barbed wire ropes. Onita knows better than that. He's been in so many of these matches. And not quite making contact with the rope. Maybe Masato Tanaka moving his body just slightly. And Tanaka really working on that leg. An interesting strategy in a deathmatch. Dragon Sleeper there from Onita. Probably learnt from Tatsumi Fujinami himself. Onita, an actual New Japan, I think it was in the New Japan dojo, or it was in the All Japan dojo. It was actually in one of the dojos. And there is Onita hitting the barbed wire ropes. We may have not been able to get the timed explosion. We got the setup in, but we don't have the timer and everything. AEW situation. If AEW can do it, we can too, right? Oh, there we go into that barbed wire and another DDT. Masato Tanaka really working on that leg there of Atsushi Onita. Masato Tanaka kind of putting it to Onita here. Figure 4 leg lock from Onita. Maybe he didn't have the strength that he wanted due to the damage that Masato Tanaka has done to the legs. What the? Probably learned that one from Antonio Inoki. And Masato Tanaka back into those exploding barbed wire ropes. There's no rope break here. Not that you would want to grab for the rope anyway. It's barbed wire. And then popping off again. These explosions. Onita, it's not in a good way. You can only take so many of them. Hurricane. You saw Eddie Kingston try to pull that out against Roman Reigns unsuccessfully. Leg drop. Onita hitting the exploding ropes again. Powerbomb stacked up. I think, this match needs to end, guys. I think the explosion is coming. Oh no! At the 10-minute mark, both competitors, the referee's down too. A sleeper, but the referee's not here to see if Tanaka is unconscious anyway. The referee affected by that explosion. But somehow both of these competitors are still going despite the explosion. Destroying the very fabric of space-time did Masato Tanaka there. With that spinning attack. And a sliding D there without the run-up. DDT right on the top of the head there. Masato Tanaka. 1, 2, 3. Wow, I need a double DDT after the explosion. That's gonna get us copyright muted. I know that. Well, this is going up on YouTube. This is gonna get us copyright claimed. Wild thing, but Onita doesn't care because he is a wild thing. And that means that Atsushi Onita will be advancing to take on Suzu Suzuki at Dimensional Merge to determine the first ever Spirit of Anarchy Deathmatch Champion. Now we'll be moving into our semi-main event of the evening. Shining Spirit qualifying match. Back to the Dodecagon. It will be Ken Shiro taking on Katsuyori Shibata. Kenshiro, Katsuyori Shibata, here we go. Shoot fighting match in the Dodecagon. However, for some reason, Daichi counted pinfalls last time. Will he count pinfalls this time? I don't know. Will either of these two competitors go for pinfalls? I don't know. Katsuyori Shibata, one of the toughest SOBs ever, had his brain removed and put back in. Allegedly. And still is going. Kenshiro, former men's champion, Rebel Waifu Championship Wrestling. I mentioned his wars with Amuro Ray. He's no stranger to the Dodecagon. He's been here with Amuro Ray, but Shibata as well with an MMA career in his own right. Whereas Roman and Eddie, we saw two untraditional fighters in the Dodecagon. Now we see, I feel, two very traditional MMA kind of fighters, Kenshiro and Katsuyori Shibata, back and forth. Kenshiro known for implementing a style of pressure points. Oh, catching the leg there into the knee bar. Shibata is deadly in that way. He can strike with the best of them, but he has that technical wrestling ability. He can beat the hell out of you while standing up, but he can stretch you out and put you in uncomfortable positions while you're sitting down. You know, he spent a decent amount of time in England learning that British style of grappling, but also has that Japanese fighting spirit and that Japanese martial arts background. As well, I mentioned Shibata's MMA background. However, you can always question how well you can recover from a subdural hematoma, much like Katsuyori Shibata did. Great uppercut there. Elbow to the back, and there's the STF. I'm still unsure if Daichi thinks that pinfalls are here. But we are still doing this one big long round. Elbow to the back and a further attack to the knees. I mean, if you can't stand up, you're going to be on the ground, and Shibata will be able to take control of Kenshiro on the ground. I think Kenshiro needs to keep this all standing up. Kenshiro is not quite the wrestler, the grappler. While Katsuyori Shibata, known as the wrestler, but able to slide out of there, was Kenshiro. Great suplex there. But that's what Kenshiro needs to do while standing. Needs to throw those heavy hands. And the hand does not get much heavier than that. Shibata dragging him towards the cage. STF. Oh my god, the kicks to that head. A lesser man would have been taken out by that. Catching the punch into an armbar. Shibata has a counter for almost everything that Kenshiro has, but not Kenshiro. Like I said, those heavy hands, heavy feet. While most cases, I would say Shibata has a striking advantage. I was going to say Kenshiro might have him on the striking, but Shibata was able to take control of that exchange, but... Oh, and a pin. Okay, pin. Daichi still thinks pins count in shoe matches. That's how we roll here at Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling, I guess. 1, 2. Not enough. Put Shibata away, and is he going for it? Go to sleep. PK, but Kenshiro straight to his feet, chops to the side of the head, and another pinfall attempt. But a disrespectful pin like that isn't effective. Face lock, but not enough. Kenshiro's still got some fight in him, and he's trying for that pin again. You really want to hold down the shoulders. What is Shibata doing here? I mean, he was able to still take control. Shibata just letting Kenshiro come in. I'm not sure about that one. Another pinfall attempt, but not enough. Oh, somehow Kenshiro must have hit his head on the cage or something coming out of that pin and got knocked out. Shibata advancing to take on Roman Reigns to determine the first ever Shining Spirit Shoot Fighting Champion. Now we'll be moving in to our final match of the evening, our main event for the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling Rising Spirit Championship. Amuro Ray will be taking on Noriko Takaya. Already in the ring, here we go. Now, to anyone who followed Rebel Waifu Championship Wrestling till its unfortunate cancellation, might know that towards the end there was something brewing between these two, Noriko and Amuro Ray. Unfortunately, to my knowledge, there were unaired episodes of Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling where these two fought it out. Amuro Ray bringing in the Men's Championship and Noriko bringing in the RWCW Championship. So a rekindling of that rivalry here at Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling. And a chance for the world to now see what once was only seen by a group of people in an arena somewhere. It never made its way to the internet. And not even a 1 count there. Amuro, very aggressive. I mentioned it earlier, he has gone through wars, and when you're on the ground, he'll be throwing every appendage at you possible to just mess you up, while Noriko Takaya, very explosive, high flying. Noriko catching Amuro there. Noriko took a lot of punishment though from Jungle Kiona earlier. Knee lift, and the Kamigoye from Amuro, pledging allegiance to something, to himself probably. Very high angle suplex with the bridge, only a 1 count. Noriko is a former RWCW champion for a reason, but Amuro was a former men's champion for a reason. And I reckon Amuro had a chip on his shoulder. He had a chip on his shoulder that the men were maybe were not considered the top division in Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling. The Noriko, with the Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling Championship, she was considered the top of the heap. And Amuro wants to prove his worth here. Rope break. Noriko is in control right now. Deadlift German suplex. Amuro, desperation cover perhaps. Not quite enough. And this is again for the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling Rising Spirit Championship. The first ever Rising Spirit Champion. It will be the winner of this match. Wrenching there on Amuro. was Noriko. And, oh, here it comes. Oh, no, I thought she was going up there for the Inazuma kick. But a splash and a flipping senton. Knee lift. And what is Amuro doing up there? A lot of rotations on that flipping senton. Oh, and Amuro, I don't know, he must have collided with the turnbuckle wrong there. Oh, and this is how he won his qualifying match around the world. Around the space colonies, but not enough to put away a competitor on the level of Noriko. Noriko has seen that move. She's prepared for that. And like I said, this is that killer instinct from Amuro. German suplex, a second one with the bridge. That was almost enough for Noriko to take the championship. Big baseball fan, Noriko. Oh my god, the sumo chops to the blue turnbuckle. But Noriko with the brainbuster, shaking him off. Amuro did not look in a great way there, very dazed. Kick to the top of the head. Noriko, not enough to put Amuro away at this stage. Back and forth these two are going, very evenly matched. I thought Noriko might have been at a disadvantage due to the punishment she took from Jungle Kyona, but Noriko's got a lot of fight in her. She will not quit. Poison Rana. And the cover. Is that enough? First! I thought we were going to have the first Rising Spirit champion. Taking her down. And there it is. Amuro, the killer instinct. Actual war veteran. And punching her to the side of the head. He does not care, man or woman. He will do everything in his power. Around the space colonies we go. One more time. This disorients you. You have no idea where you are. And the way that you're tied up there, it's very hard to kick out of that. Taking her down. Elbows to the back of the head. Noriko just trying to block. She might have still been dizzy from going around the space colonies. Noriko with the cutter. Punch to the stomach. She's going up for that senton, that flipping senton. Again, not going for the Inazuma kick just yet. Taking her down and just throwing his hands. All Noriko can do in that situation is put her hands up at the back of her head and try to block. Noriko able to get out of dodge there. What are we doing up here? Nothing. Great maneuver there. And is that enough? I believe that was the new type splash from the top. Heavy hands from Amuro, as always. Just wailing into the back of the head of Amuro. And the claw. This is how she was able to beat Jungle Kyona. Is it enough to put away Amuro? No. Big baseball enthusiast. The cutter again. Another brainbuster right in the middle of the ring. But Noriko with the sling blade, that was how she was able to start gaining some momentum on Jungle Kyona earlier. The punches to the jaw there. Big chop to the top of the head. Noriko's fired up. Another Poison Rana, we saw that earlier. And a lot of pressure on that pin, but not enough. Amuro Ray, he can put up a fight, he can go. Knee lift. Snapmare. And there's that new type splash again. 2. not quite enough as we reach the 20-minute mark here. Not enough to put away Noriko. What do these competitors need to do? We've seen a lot of fighting spirit on this show. We've seen a lot of wrestlers giving it their all. First impressions count here. And for a lot of these people, this is the first chance that they've had. This is the first chance they've had to show themselves to the Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling audience. And there's that new type splash. 1, 2, 4. Almost had it. Huge belly to belly there. Sending Noriko flying. Noriko turning it around. Poison Rana once again. Stinging him. 2. Amuro able to kick out. I mentioned that potential chip on the shoulder of Amuro. That he thought that he was an afterthought. Swan dive drop kick there from Noriko. And a cutter, 20 count here, applies at Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling, but no one wants to see this go to a count out. Nobody can see this at all. And, oh my god, Amuro is trying to take this via count out. Bringing in the metal fingers, Izuka's metal fingers. We saw that earlier during Suzu Suzuki and New Jack. That's why it was under the ring. It's vicious strikes to the face. Noriko will not give up. She's fired up and it might be time. No! I thought she was... She still won't go for that Inazuma kick. Big splash though. Amuro. The kick to the top of the head. They are dangerously close to those metal fingers. Oh, just kicking her on the ground. Noriko able to reverse it into a rear naked choke. Amuro tried to drag it to the ropes but didn't quite get there. The outside, what are we doing here? Noriko, no! Amuro! Suplex to the outside. That padding is not very cushioned. Back to the outside. These two are giving it their all. Death Valley driver. Again, no one wants to see this go to a double count out. A baseball bat. I told you she's a baseball enthusiast. Noriko both back into the ring. High angle German suplex. 2. I cannot believe this, ladies and gentlemen. How are these two still going? Diving splash. Gone for the pin there. Not enough. Wasted a bit too much time giving a shout out to baseball. I think Noriko needs to start thinking about that Inazuma kick. Stretching him out there. Abdominal stretch. Punch to the midsection. And oh, I think she's going for it now. Inazuma kick! That's enough. New first step. How the hell did Amuro kick out at this point in the match? We're almost 30 minutes in. Diving splash. 30 minutes have passed in this one. These two are showing you what Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling was all about. And that Robo Waifu Championship Wrestling has a place here in the future of Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling. New type splash. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe what is occurring here. I am speechless. There's that high angle German suplex. Now Daichi's calling for the rope breaks. Brainbuster. Noriko's fired up, but how much fire does she have left? Spiking Amuro on the top of his head. How many times can you take that? How many times can your brain take that? How many times can your neck take that? Throwing hands there. Amuro back in control. Maybe just trying to knock Noriko out. Kamigoye. But the Death Valley driver. Amuro though, first on his feet. Pin. Noriko. Again, what do these competitors need to do? Maybe the Iron Claw is what Noriko needs to close this out. No. Snapmare. And there it is, that new type splash again. 2. Again. I just don't know what to say at this point. These competitors are giving it their all. Around and around and around we go. Maybe this is what Amuro needs. He hasn't pulled this out for a little bit. 1, 2, around the space colonies. Not enough though. New type splash. 1, 2. Brainbuster from Noriko. And yep, here she goes. She's setting it up. Inazuma kick, but she's dazed. 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, I don't think there is anything that either of these competitors can do to finish this. There's that flipping senton with the multiple rotations. These two have too much fight. 1, 2. The Samoan drop there. I'm speechless at this display. The diving splash. 1, 2. These two are having an absolute war here. New type splash. 1, 2. The flipping senton from Noriko. Back and forth, trying to knock Noriko out again. The claw, and that's it. Amuro could not take any more. The claw, almost 40 minutes. Noriko Takaya is your first Rising Spirit champion. What an absolute war between these two. I cannot believe it. But I gotta hit it. Yeah. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling Rising Spirit. The next time you'll see Crimson Universe Pro Wrestling will be Dimensional Merge. Hopefully we got that deathmatch stuff sorted and that and the rules of the shoot fighting sorted. But anyway, I've been Crimson Ash, Crimguy Ash, whatever you want to call me. I'm signing out. See you at Dimensional Merge.